Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel. Well, I picked up the Caddx Firefly with built-in VTX for my Super Whoop, basically to well, get a image image. Alright, so what do you get in the box? Not a lot. You get a card with all sorts of different bits of information and stuff like that, phone numbers and stuff, and then you get your camera slash VTX, and that is it. Let me zoom in a little bit. Whoa, let me zoom in a little bit more for you for that. There you go. Right, this is how it literally does come out of the box. Right, it's all wired up. The VTX is wired up right to the camera. You've got your red and black, your power coming off, right, which I recommend 5 volts going into your flight control board. Don't run it off battery voltage, right, you'll probably blow the thing. I say probably because I don't know, but I would say you blow the thing. It's 25 milliwatt. Let's see, alright, it's the first right VTX camera combo, right, with a 1.3 CMOS sensor. So we should, in theory, get a better image than what we was getting with them tiny whoopy cameras. The resolution is 1200 TVL, which basically means 1200. How can I put this simple? Very simple, not exactly correct, but it means 1200 lines going across the screen which are recording the information, shall we say. That's about right. And it has wide dynamic range, and it weighs, I did weigh it, 4.2 grams. Yeah, I weighed it, 4.2 grams. And that's it basically. Now, obviously you're going to have to wire it up to your flight control board if you want smart audio and everything like that. Well, what there is, where my hand is, just next to, I'll put that down, just next to the antenna. Whoops, getting shot. Just next to the antenna here, there's 3 pads. Right, the top one nearest to the antenna, right, is your smart audio. So you'd run a wire off that and wire it straight into TX1 for argument's sake, or whatever you happen to be using. Then you've got your video in and your video out, and you just wire them straight to your flight control board, and that's it. That is all there is to it. It's well, it's meant to be, well, it looks really good and stuff. I'll just zoom back out again a bit. It looks really good on specs. I'll leave all the information in the description, but without near ado, let's whack it in a model and give it a quick test flight, and you tell me what you think. Right, obviously it's not going to be perfect because it's a little tiny little 25mm micro thing. You've got a button on the side for changing your channels, 48 channels. But if you're wiring up smart audio, you're never going to use that anyhow. But it's there, and there's some little LEDs here that flash to indicate which is which. But you're going to do it on your smart audio in your goggles. So yeah, so let's whack her in the model, give it a little flight, and see what I think and see what you think. Okay then, to the field or the street, I ain't decided yet. Real VT. George from the future here. Just wanted to tell you something about the camera, the Cadex camera. Right, when you're mounting it, do not do what I did. Right, the 3 wires that run off the camera, right, go to the bottom. Right, they don't go to the top. If they go to the top, they're upside down. Now you may think the wires go to the top because as you can't see from here, but as there's some writing on the back of the camera, right, and it actually reads the right way when the wires are at the top. So the writing now is upside down. However, so the wires go to the bottom to get the camera the right way around. That's all I wanted to add on. So I've got it in my little Super Whoop. Got a little canopy on there. That, in case you're interested, that's one of them better FPV 65 canopies, but they're usually blue, but I got a clear one. So basically, because everything's jammed in there so tight, I wanted to make sure I can see my electrics, and now it's catching her out like that. It was a little bit too small, so I had to cut the bit of the canopy there to get the antenna to go up because if I had the antenna coming off, it was catching the props. As you can imagine, if I put the props together there, you can see the antenna would have caught the props. So I've cut a little bit of the canopy, pushed the FPV antenna up, and hot glued it on, and that's it. Oh, might as well show you while we're here. I got my receiver buried right underneath there with a cable twisting round and coming out of a little hole I made there. On this side I've got the buzzer, and I've got it double-sided taped, alright, just sat on top of the VTX. So there's a hell of a lot going on in there. But anyway, yeah, so let's take me Super Whoop to the field and test out this new camera and see how it goes. I just hope she's okay, right? Because that old camera I had on from the UK 65, that was working fine. VTX wasn't brilliant, but it was working okay. But this, apparently, this camera is really good. So let's jump shot straight to the field and give her a flight, and I'll tell you what I think. Give you an honest opinion. Okay then, to the field. The magic finger, that way.
Okay then, pilots and ground crew. Right, at first glance, you'll notice what I noticed. The colours are quite bright. Right, and I thought, oh, they're going to be a bit washed out. However, as you'll see in the flight, I was very happy with the colours for the simple reason, yes, they're bright, but you don't have to see the twigs really clear. Them twigs on the left there, when I get a bit closer, you'll notice. So I got used to the colour, the brightness, right, within a few seconds basically, because straight away I thought, oh yeah, I like that. I can see the twigs, the ghost branches, so no ninjas are going to jump out at me and knock me out of the sky. But unfortunately, the DVR is not doing this justice. Even though the DVR is pretty good, the image in my goggles was a hell of a lot better actually. So, which is usually the way though, let's be honest, DVR is never as good as the image you see in your goggles. But just look here under these branches. Look, you can really see the twigs and stuff like that. So the extra brightness that this camera gives, right, really does help actually. Okay, some people aren't going to like it. Some people are going to say, oh no, the colours are too washed out, it's too bright. But believe me, it's a trade-off. Being able to see the finer details, right, you know what I mean, as you're flying is always worth a little bit of a trade-off. And let's be honest, this is just a tiny little super whoopy thing I built. It's not my big 5-inch quadra out where you want a GoPro or the Run 5 or something like that image, right? You're looking for a half decent image with a tiny whoop. Oh, prop wash there. You're looking for a half decent image, something you can reasonably use, but it's never going to be perfect on a whoop unless you get a HD tiny whoop, granted. I even thought about putting one of them little nano HD cameras in this, but I thought, nah. Anyway, I'll leave it there because I was quite happy with it, and the signal's quite, oh, I'll mention the VTX because the signal's pretty damn good behind trees and stuff, and it's only 25 milliwatts, as you know, and them things aren't brilliant. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the signal as well. There's a little smudge you see on the middle of the screen just to the right. I think I picked up a dodgy camera because I've cleaned the screen, so I think that smudge is inside the lens. So I'm going to have to remove the lens and clean the inside, because it's definitely not on the front of the lens. Right, yeah, so to sum up, colour's pretty good. Another prop wash there. Colour's pretty good. I'm very happy with it. So I'll leave it there, and cheers, pilots and ground crew.